kind of techniques do you have to get your body ready for Thursday after Sunday?
A lot of pool work, just trying to get the soreness out, lifting, moving around. Nothing too intense, obviously, but it's pretty much just hydrate and eat a lot.
Nick, the Giants' offensive line had some issues against the Cowboys. Do you see opportunities for all of this?
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be pretty much opposite of what we just did with Stafford. Definitely could hold it a little bit, and we just have to keep him in the pocket. He's going to try and get out any chance he gets. So, just trying to close it in on him, be good in our rush lanes, and we could have a good day.
Do you welcome that, and more of a scrambler who will hold it?
Yeah.
I know you were looking for more juice out of the interior after last year. What are your kind of early appraisals of Javon, Eric, all healthy playing this year?
Definitely a really good start. I think Javon Kinlaw has really stepped it up. He looks healthy, and I'm excited for him.
Nick, how rushed do you feel?
So quiet in here.
How rushed do you feel on a Thursday? Coach Shanahan just kind of went through a whole thing about Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday. Like, from a player's perspective, how rushed is the Thursday night game feel?
Super rushed. Tuesday is usually our off day, and we're basically cramming 2 preparation days into our off day. So that kind of shows how much. And then tomorrow's the day before the game, so you just walk through and get ready to go. So it's definitely very rushed.
When you're in the game Thursday, is all that forgotten and you're just playing like you're playing, or do you feel the difference?
Your body feels it 100%. Hopefully you come out of the game prior feeling pretty good, and that helps. Being at home helps a lot. We haven't been home the past few years. It's tough. They have to come all the way across the country, so that's an advantage for us. But yeah, you feel it in your body, but if your body's feeling good, then it's just normal game.
Nick, last time you guys played on a Thursday night was up there in Seattle. Brock played through with the broken rib. What do you remember about, maybe something you learned about him that night?
I don't know what I learned about him. I was pretty confident in him already, but it was a great win. I just remember celebrating in the locker room. That was fun.
Nick, what do you remember about Brock as a scout to the quarterback? I mean, he's there to try to work on the defense. Do you remember any kind of moments where you thought, this guy might be something here?
Definitely escapability, but scout team quarterback, you're not really paying too much attention to.
He said he did a pretty good Mahomes. Do you remember that at all?
He does resemble Mahomes a little bit.
Sidearms.
Just his lower body, the way you could get out of things. And
Nick, what's your favorite lower body exercise?
front squat, baby.
Besides the scrambling ability, what else strikes you about Daniel Jones?
He's good in the pocket. I think there's a stat, if you keep him under 60%, he's 0-9. So if we could pressure him a lot and keep his completion percentage down, then you have a good chance.
With this being your home opener and this being your home now for many more years, is there something about Levi Stadium that you really appreciate or enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, our fans are awesome on the road, but they're awesome here as well, and I'm excited for the first home game of the year. We haven't seen our fans yet. I'm sure the defense will be called out, so it'll be a lot of fun. Prime time.
Is there anything that you, when the game's played on Thursday, that you have to cut out of your preparation that you normally do?
Yeah, there's some lifting, some obviously practice. You're not practicing much at all. Some of the running stuff that I do it's pretty much just recovery and movement.
Brushing up on Matt Breida at all, with the possibility that you can face him as their lead back?
Yeah, we definitely have a good familiarity with him, and we'll be ready.
Do you remember that conversation with Kyle that you had?
Yeah, I think I walked in, I told him that we needed a new scout team quarterback because he wasn't very good. No, I mean, I've spoken on it a bunch. It was fun to watch him from the moment he came in, just because he's a guy that you don't even realize. I mean, when we drafted him, I'm like, what the heck, why are we drafting a quarterback in the last pick of the draft? You know, they obviously saw something in him that they felt like he was a 49er from the jump. So you see little things throughout training camp, those evening practices where he gets some of those late reps in a 2-minute drill, and he's over there scrambling against, you know, the defense in a hat walkthrough, you know, for a touchdown. Like little things like that. Just, you know, you could just tell he had the right makeup.
The last time you played on a Thursday night game was that Seattle game. You played through that broken rib. What did he show you that night?
He showed his toughness, man. I mean, being able to gut that out. We didn't even know if he was going to be playing. I think that was a game-time decision through warm-ups, you know, to see if he was going to be able to make it and play in that game. So, I mean, we needed him big time. That was a huge division game at the time, late in the year. You mentioned it, Thursday Night Football, and he gutted it out to help us win.
The difference in having to cram everything into a Thursday night game it's pretty well documented how difficult it is. But once you're in the game, does it feel different? I mean, do you feel like, man, I don't feel like I normally feel?
I wouldn't say so. I think once you're in it, you're in it. You know, you're kind of, that flip switches a little bit. I think it's fun for guys like me who I've already made my mind up that I don't care if it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and you go out there in warm-ups and you kind of watch how they're moving throughout warm-ups, and you guys are a little groggy, and I'm like, all right, we got them. Like, just stuff like that is what things I look for. But it's tough on all of us, honestly. It's a shorter work week. Guys have routines that they're used to, especially myself, but you got to adjust and you got to just adjust accordingly.
A big point of emphasis this offseason was to juice up the interior pass rush for the defensive tackles. You're standing behind them, sometimes blitzing behind them. How does it look this year with those additions and with Javon Kinlaw healthy?
It looks great. You know, they make my job a lot easier. So I love it when they're coming off the ball, getting that penetration. And you mentioned it, Javon having the start to the year that he's had so far. I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I've seen the work that he's put in all offseason, and him putting it together is I'm just really happy for him. The confidence that's given him, and we're going to need him a lot more.
Your sack in particular, was there some exceptional push in front of you that helped make that sack and that blitz easier for you?
Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think they just busted in the protection. I'm pretty sure the back had me because that guard kind of slid initially to where I had lined up. The back's supposed to have me in that protection. He scattered out, and it was a free hitter.
What's the key to containing a mobile quarterback such as Daniel Jones?
Discipline, knowing exactly your assignment on every single given play. You know, because one guy doesn't understand his assignment in any given down. When he pulls that ball and we don't have body there, then he's out of the gate for an explosive or a touchdown. So Danny Jones is quite the runner, and he's not afraid to stay up and keep running it. So, you know, we got to be aware.
Fred, what kind of juice can you get from the home game, and then you got 3 in a row here at home, so it's a pretty big stretch for you guys early in the season.
Wow, 3 at home, I didn't even know that. I mean, home opener, Thursday Night Football, prime time, against a really good team. I don't think you can draw it up any better than that. I'm really excited about it. I love playing at home. And I even said before the season, I'm like, man, if we can go 2-0 on the road and come back at home for Thursday night, that's going to be a fun one.
What have the first 2 games with Steve Wilkes in your year been like?
It's been amazing. You know, I think it's been really great. I think the work that we put in throughout training camp, there was a lot of like open conversations about how things were moving, and me and him have had a lot of great conversations that we're going to continue to. You know, the defense and team that we are right now is not what we'll be later on in the season, November, December, when it matters the most. We got to continue to get better, continue to grow, and see how little things that we can improve upon.
Where's that biggest growth area in your eyes right now?
You know, I don't know if there's a specific part of the defense that is just generally just better. I mean, it's hard to get that 1% improvement off of a defense that was the ranked #1 defense last year. I think it's about more so just creating that overall camaraderie and chemistry on the field with obviously a new group of players along with a new defensive coordinator, different coaches. And that's a gradual process every single day, every single week of making sure that everybody's honing in on their assignment. They're detailing everything up, so we're making sure that we're just a well-oiled machine.
Fred, it's understood that like a season or a career can change in an instant, but when you see something like Nick Chubb, you know, last night, does it kind of, I don't know, bring it to the forefront and kind of just instead of in the back of your mind?
You know, things like that obviously bring things into perspective for sure. I mean, that's as gruesome of an injury as it gets, and it's honestly like a routine play. A guy goes low to tackle a big physical running back, and something like that happens. I don't know if there's anything that could have been done differently in that situation, because guys would be like, why did the defender go so low on him? Or, all right, you go high, why did he try to hit him in the head? You know, stuff like that. It's just things that are happening so quick out there. It's not something that you look at and be like, you know, you can't slow down, you can't do, because if you do, you're gonna get hurt. You know, you got to just continue to see ways to help protect the players, but that's just a really unfortunate situation.
Hargrave made a play in the first half where he almost took the hand off.
Yeah.
And what was your vantage point for that? Is it just does his ability to move surprise you? I mean, probably not at this point, but
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, when you don't block him, that's going to be pretty easy to kind of snake through there, especially on I think that was a 4th and 1 play. Yeah, I mean, I wish he would have taken the hand off, because then we would have been off the field. But it was, they obviously didn't block it correctly. He's in the backfield before Stafford even had a chance to hand it off. Luckily, they handed it off. Luckily for them, they handed it off. But yeah, I mean, Hargrave has been everything that we wanted and more.
Fred, they obviously had some major offensive line issues against Dallas in particular. So you're not on the defensive line. Sometimes you are on the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you see opportunities there to create a lot of havoc potentially?
In the pass game, you're saying?
Well, just as far as rushing against that offensive line.
Yeah, we got to look at it more. You know, we're squishing in 2 days of prep into one in terms of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down all today. So something that I got to keep looking at. But we're always going to try to find ways to exploit another team's pass protection game and get pressure on the quarterback. I don't think this week's any different.
how challenging is Waller to deal with when he's running underneath routes and stuff that you'll probably have to deal with?
Extremely challenging. And I played against him a couple of times now last year, especially again when we played him against the Raiders, and the Raiders had a really good game plan for us, and he made a couple of really good plays. Just the size and the speed is something that is hard to contain. So it's something that we're going to have to be aware of and make sure that we're on top of, because, I mean, if he gets going, then it could get ugly quick.
Fred, you wear the green dot, and this year you have you have a new coordinator. He's up in the booth. Does that change anything at all in your mind as far as the communication in the game between D'Amico to the new DC?
I mean, yeah, obviously there's a little bit of a change there. It's just a difference, something that we kind of adjusted to in the preseason. That's why, having me out there during preseason for 2 games to kind of get used to what that dynamic was going to be like was good for us. And I don't think that's been anything worth note so far. I think the communication is great during the game amongst me, Johnny Holland, the play caller on the sideline, and Wilkes in the booth.
I've never played Daniel Jones. No, that's not true. I played Daniel Jones in 2021. Yeah, over there. Yeah, we did play them. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't make a good impression, obviously.
No, he's really good. I feel like they got a lot of really good players on the offense too. But we just come with our plan, our scheme. I think we'll be all right.
So last game, obviously interception great, but your tackles short of the first down on the third down and the fourth down one. What did that show you and show this team about you?
Just triggering, pulling your gun. I feel like that's kind of what we talk about in this defense is the biggest thing. When you see it, shoot it. That's kind of the motto of how we do things here. And so just kind of get adjusted to that, trying to, get more comfortable with that. I feel like was the biggest thing for me. And so I feel like I was able to take a step in the right direction.
Is that something that we have to be watching for in case Daniel Jones comes out your way towards the slot, right?
Yeah.
That you're there ready to tackle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's especially with him just because of his ability to run. I mean, he can pull the ball down and take off kind of whenever throughout the play. So everyone's got to be locked in on that. Just all 11 guys, really.
Actually, just stay behind Bosa usually probably.
Yeah, that'll help. That definitely helps. Yeah. He's 97's coming this way. He's probably going the other way.
Have you had to deal with Waller much? Played against him?
I played against him once.
Yeah.
Obviously, hell of a talent. Really just a big body tight end, but with receiver moves, receiver speed. So poses a lot of probably matchup problems for the most part. But I feel like we just can come ready and play him as tough as we can.
Did you feel? Did you feel validated in any way for the game that you had? Did you think that you needed a game like that? You're a veteran, so I imagine you probably aren't short of confidence, but still.
Right. I feel like it was good just to kind of for our team in general, for our defense. I feel like that whole game, I felt like it was really good for us. Just having kind of a little bit of struggles in the first half, and then being able to come back in the second half and play a little bit better. But for me personally, I mean, I was just trying to just do my job. I mean, that was the biggest thing. Obviously, had a couple of good plays, but really for me, it was just going in with the mentality of doing my job, doing my 111, and then helping the team any way I can.
There's a lot that goes into a Thursday night game. I mean, you're doing your first, second down, third down, all the install. Hey, Huff, how are you doing? You're very distracting. There's just a lot that goes into it, and I know the coaches, they probably didn't sleep very much last night. I think we have a great game plan. I'm still in the process of studying it and kind of just swallowing all of it, I would say, just trying to learn it all. But what the great thing is you learn it all. There's not really any tough practices. It's just walk-through stuff. You get a lot of sleep because we push all our meetings back to a later start time. And then you play a game on Thursday and you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And so that's the nice part about it. Are there difficulties with it? Sure. I'm very happy that we're at home. I do like that part about Thursday Night Football. Like 2021 when we had to fly to Tennessee on a Thursday night game, I wasn't a huge fan of that, but it is what it is. And happy to be at home in front of Levi's. You know, once you step on the football field between the lines, lights are on, it's primetime games definitely get you going pretty easily. I will say that. Like, you're definitely sore. You might be a little tired, but you know, whether it's the caffeine or the lights and the fans, you get into it pretty quick.
George, last time you guys played on Thursday was up to
I can't hear him, Huff.
No, the people want to know.
You're
Amazon purchase you ever made for a Thursday night game, prime time.
Is this sponsored by Amazon?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to want a cut of this. The weirdest Amazon purchase I have made?
Yes, indeed.
I had to buy a whole bunch of sleeves for all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I've been opening. I'm a nice guy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Pep. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Last time you guys played on Thursday was up there in Seattle. The game Brock played through the rib injury.
Yeah.
Kyle has said that was kind of the night that he knew Brock was his guy. What do you remember about what you saw from him?
I mean, playing through rib injuries aren't really fun. Everything that you do just kind of hurts, especially when you're throwing a football. But for him to be up there, that environment, it's definitely one of the best football environments that I've played in. Just the fans are super loud. They absolutely hate us. Thursday night football, so it's a great environment. Brock handled it really well. He's just played like he was a quarterback, and that's what you expect from him, and he did a great job with that. And I also remember, we had a great game as an offense, put up a lot of points, scored a lot of touchdowns. Defense played at a high level. Bosa had some sacks. Should have had a pick six, but Bosa, fell on the quarterback without taking his hands off the guy. But it is what it is. But no, Brock played a great game, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that game was like he told us all that who Brock is, but I mean, definitely laid the groundwork for what we're trying to accomplish.
How's your body feeling after going into a Thursday night game coming off Sunday?
Body feels good. Yeah, body feels really good.
Kyle, there's teams out there that have guys.
When asked the other day, he said that he's going to want to lessen the load probably for you a little bit and get Elijah in there more, just based on your experience. I know you had heavy workloads in Carolina. What is that sweet spot for you on a week-to-week basis?
I think it's all dependent on how the game's going. We had a lot of breaks last game. Sometimes that's just how it goes. There's going to be games too where Mitch will get 4 or 5 carries in a row on multiple drives because he's playing well and he's feeling them, and I'll be out. So it's really such a situational thing that I don't think it's ever a plan for one of us to get all the carries or not. It's just sometimes that's just how some of the games go.
You're leading the league in rushing through 2 games. So I mean, it's obviously that's not the end game for you, but do you take some pride in that title? And is that something that you would want to finish?
Absolutely. I think if we can run the ball well, we can set up so much on this offense, and we got the guys who can do it. So it's just about continuing to move the ball efficiently.
Before you got here, I mean, the Shanahan offense was known for run-oriented and sets up everything. It seems also with Brock, it's a little bit more complimentary, I would guess. Kyle seems willing to take the chances. We talked about the overthrows, but there were 3 of them, and he's willing to go and go and go. Do you see how the offense has evolved from that?
Yeah, I think once again, it's just so dependent on what the defense is giving you, and that's something that is what I think makes Kyle so good. Is he truly understands what defenses lack certain areas and what are their strengths, and having to capitalize on that. And so it's really play dependent. You can watch all the film you want, but a team can come into a game and be in a completely different front, completely different coverage than what they've shown, And so it's really just about constantly adjusting and adapting to what's going on the field, and then just maximum execution on every play.
The way the Giants, their defensive coordinator likes to blitz a lot, so I'm guessing pass pro is a big emphasis.
Yeah, I mean they're aggressive, man. They blitz hard, kind of all the time. They're bringing some sort of pressure, so it's just really important we're on our P's and Q's when it comes to communication, being able to pick up all their blitzes.
The first down stat a lot. How many first downs are you getting per game? Do you pay attention to that?
I do not. No, I do not.
You get a lot of them.
That's good.
I mean,
all right.
I mean, is that an emphasis of the coaches at all? Like, this is a first down play. This is a play we have to get a first down. I guess on.
I mean, I think you're trying to score on every play. I think sometimes it's about catch and get vertical, and how many yards can you get after contact. I think that's something that our team takes a lot of pride in. When you look at the weapons we have, just competing and constantly trying to break tackles, trying to move forward, whether it's to get a first down or whether it's to get a 3-yard gain instead of a 0-yard gain. It's just always trying to move forward and taking pride in the execution of that.
You're touching the team mid-season last year, but did you always sense that Debo was kind of a leader of this team? Did you always sense that?
Yeah, I think even if he never said a word, he'd be a leader just because of the way he plays. It's rare you get receivers that are that physical, that block that way, and that play as hard as he does. So I think you just turn on the silent tape and you can feel Debo, in the way he plays, just watching the film. But then you get to meet him in person and see the kind of intent he brings to this team. It's special.
Does he say much on the field in the huddle?
I don't think anyone says anything in the huddle other than Brock. A few guys might say a few things, and then Brock will tell us to shut up. But no, I mean, no one's talking in the huddle.
Is there a significant difference in Debo's quickness this year from up close? I know he cut some weight, and it seems from our perspective that there is. So.
It's hard for me to tell. He's always been quick and fast and explosive to me. Runs through tackles. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. I wouldn't say he has any weaknesses.
Your snap count, the first two games have been up around what they were in 18 and 19. Is that at all a concern? I mean, do you kind of feel it after the game when you've had up to close to 60 snaps?
No, I mean, I feel great. I think those were 2 good years. So body feels great.
Is Bobby telling you maybe it's time to take a rest and you're saying no, or is it just
like I said, man, it's really just a flow thing and how the game's going. Certain plays you have to be in, certain plays maybe you need a rest, but like I mentioned earlier, we had a lot of time off. We were sitting down a lot because their offense was on the field for a long time. Kind of trying to take down a lot of that clock, and then quarter happened. So my rests came at convenient times too, but I don't know if every game's going to be like that. I think it's, like I said, it's really dependent on how the flow of the game's going.
Go ahead. Has fumbling ever been an issue for you, like going back to youth football, high school, college, and?
I hope not. Hope not.
Didn't know whether you did anything, to.
I mean, I think the ball is the most important thing always, and just taking care of it. And you've got the team in your hands when you got the ball in your hands, and that's the way we approach it. And Bobby always makes big emphasis on protecting the ball with every point of contact that you can, and making sure that that's ours at the end of the play.
I was going to say back to pass protection. Frank Gore, Garrison Hurst were big-time pass protectors here. Have you, in terms of how you've done it over your career, have you gotten better? Have you studied guys?
Yeah, I think pass pro, Bobby says it best, it's a 7-second fight, whether it's a quick game or not. So there's a lot of technique involved, but there's a lot of attitude involved as well, and intent. And it's really a combination of both those things.
He says 7-second fight?
Yep.
That's his way of describing what a pass pro battle is?
Yeah.
So win for 7 seconds?
Yeah. You got to be on your guy for 7 seconds. It doesn't always work, but that's the mentality going into it.
Is that because it's an official bull ride?
I don't know. I don't know what the stats are on bull riding.
I think it's got to be 7 seconds.
7 wins?
I think 7 seconds counts as official.
That counts as oh, really?
I think so.
Huh.
I'll
have to ride a bull one of these days, man.
So I could imagine it could be nearly as hard when you got a 240 240-pound linebacker, and you have to start without a running start, and he does, right, in that pass.
Yeah, that's why, obviously there's a lot of technique, but it's a mentality. It's you versus him, and they get a running head start, but that's part of the job, and you got to do it. It's one of the most important things in football.